On 26 December 2025, a Malaysian High Court delivered a historic verdict. Former Prime Minister Dato Sri Najib Tun Razak, aged 72, was found guilty on all 25 charges in the 1MDB corruption case. 21 of them, those charges are for money laundering linked to misappropriated 1MDB funds. 4 of those charges are for abuse of power as a public official. This video explains why he was convicted, who was involved, how the law was applied, what the judge ruled, how he was sentenced, and how Malaysia has reacted to this. What is 1MDB and who was behind it? 1MDB, One Malaysia Development Berhad, was a sovereign wealth fund launched in 2009 by the Malaysian government. Najib Razak was not only Prime Minister, he was held major influence over the fund as the Minister of Finance and Chairman of the Board of Advisors. 1MDB's mission was to attract global investment and develop national projects, but instead, billions of dollars were misused and siphoned off through complex international schemes involving multiple jurisdictions. A key figure behind 1MDB's fund movement was Loh Tak Choh, well known as Jolo, a Malaysian financier who never held public office but acted as a powerful intermediary in offshore transactions. Prosecutors said Loh had moved funds to private accounts, luxury assets, and more. He remained a fugitive and has not been arrested. Investigators from the US and other countries estimate that at least US $4.5 billion was misappropriated from 1MDB between 2009 and 2014. Opposition politician then Rafizi Ramli was among the first to publish portions of the Auditor General's 1MDB audit report in 2016, bringing official scrutiny to the fund's misuse. His actions led to charges under the Official Secret Act, but ultimately drew widespread attention to the scandal. In March 2016, Rafizi Ramli publicly disclosed part of Auditor General audit report on 1MDB, including what became known as page 98 at a press conference and his blog when the report was still classified as a secret under Malaysian law. He was charged under Official Secret Act 1972 OSA for illegal possession of a classified part of 1MDB audit report at the Parliament lobby on 24th March 2016, exposing or communicating that classified content to the media at a press conference on 28 March 2016. The Official Secret Act makes it an offence to possess or disclose information classified by the government, and each charge carries up to 7 years imprisonment if convicted. What the prosecutors showed evidence in the court included the blog post containing the page 98, a press conference video where Rafizi discussed the contents testimony confirming the audit report was classified. A prosecution witness confirmed that page 98 of audit report posted on Rafizi's blog included part of the final 1MDB audited report that was classified as an official secret. On 14 November 2016, the Session Court sentenced Rafizi to 18 months imprisonment on the offences under the Official Secret Act for possession of the classified material and disclosing it at press conference. The judge found that the evidence from the blog post and the press conference showed he was aware of what he posted and said. So the appeal and the outcome, a later High Court ruling in August 2017 upheld the 18-month sentence for possessing and disclosing the classified document. After the 2018 general election and political changes, the sentence was stayed and Rafizi was released on a binding over good behaviour bond with conditions. His conviction was effectively removed from the active custody due to that bond not served in full and was discharged and appeal conditions. International commentary about this was Amnesty International described the conviction as a dangerous chill and free speech and said Rafizi acted in the public interest by highlighting 1MDB financial concerns, but that was commentary, not a court ruling. Another figure is Tony Pua repeatedly raised the 1MDB issues in Parliament, presenting evidence and pressing for transparency long before legal consequences reached Najib. These political efforts made the story remain in the national consciousness and contributed to growing public dissatisfaction. The cumulative effect of exposure, public pressure, and political campaigning helped shake public trust in Barisan Nasional. So the political impact on this, BN toppled, the 1MDB scandal became a defining political issue in the May 9, 2018 general election. BN, Malaysia's dominant ruling coalition for decades, lost power for the first time in history, largely due to voter anger and over corruption allegation tied to 1MDB. Before this 25-count verdict, Najib faces a separate trial over funds from SRC International Sdn Bhd, a former unit of 1MDB. In 2020, he was convicted of corruption, criminal breach of trust, and money laundering involving 42 million. His sentence was 12 years imprisonment and a 210 million fine. But in 2023, the pardon board reduced it to 6 years and a 50 million fine. He began serving that sentence in August 2022. The 1MDB tenure trial was enormous and extremely complex. Trial began in August 2019. Over 300 days of trial proceeding, evidence from multiple countries, 50 prosecution witnesses and 26 defense witnesses, delayed due to the legal applications, appeals and global financial tracing. This long timeline and complex evidence base explain why it took more than 6 years from start to conviction. Throughout the trial, Najib's defense maintained that the large sums in his accounts were political donation from the Saudi royal family. The court rejected this defense entirely. Justice Colin Lawrence Sequeira stated that there was no credible contemporaneous evidence linking the fund to any official Saudi donation. He added that the letter presented were likely forged and not acknowledged by any government or political party. The ultimate finding of this court, the Arab donation narrative is not meritorious and that the monies were in fact derived from 1MDB funds. These are the words straight from Justice Colin Lawrence Sequeira. Najib was convicted under two main statutes. MACC Act, Abuse of Power, Section 23, Subsection 1 of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act for using his position to obtain financial benefits. Penalty is up to 20 years jail and fine up to 5 times the gratification amount. Second, AMLA, Money Laundering, Section 4, Subsection 1, Subsection A of the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism, Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001 for moving illicit funds through personal account and financial instruments. The prosecution had to prove guilt beyond reasonable doubt and the judge found that they did. Justice Colin Lawrence Sequeira took about 5 hours to read his verdict. He ruled that the prosecution evidence was overwhelming and cogent. The defense failed to raise reasonable doubt. Najib's claim of being misled by 1MDB officials and Jolo was not credible. The Saudi donation narrative was not meritorious. The court noted an unmistakable bond between Najib and Jolo, who acted as his proxy, intermediary and facilitator in 1MDB matters. The contention that the charges were a witch hunt and politically motivated were debunked by the cold, hard and incontrovertible evidence showing abuse of his own powerful position. Words by Justice Sequeira. The High Court sentenced Najib as followed. Abuse of power charges, 4 counts, 15 years imprisonment for each and 11.38 billion fine, 5 times the gratification amount. If he failed to pay the fine, he faces additional jail time. It's a default imprisonment. Money laundering charges 21 counts and 5 years imprisonment each, all to run concurrently with the 15 years sentence. What does the concurrently mean? When sentences run concurrently, they are served at the same time. So although there are many charges with multiple years attached, Najib will serve a maximum of 15 years from this ruling once his current SRC sentence ends. Najib will begin serving his new sentence after completing his SRC term, which is expected in August 2028 or August 2029, depending on the fine payment. In addition, the court ordered recovery of 2.08 billion under money laundering law. After the verdict, lead counsel Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdul said the defense was deeply disappointed but not surprised and would appeal the decision to the Court of Appeal on 29 December 2025. Shafi called this the first time in his 50 years career where he had lost every single point argued. This appeal will be followed by a potential appeal to the federal court if necessary. Now let's see the public and political reactions. Some supporters are the sentencing is selective justice, saying many others with serious corruption allegations have not been charged and only Najib has been punished. This view is widespread on social media. What they mean? Would they like us to just justify this and normalize the matter of corruption? It's a question for all the public. No, not straight away said, but it was understandably. Opposition MP Tony Poa reacted with a sense of relief and poetic affirmation, framing the verdict as accountability after years of political advocacy. About our MP Rafizi Ramli, who first exposed audit anomalies in 2016, welcomed the verdict as validation of sustained activism and the importance of evidence and transparency. Figures like Azam Baki and anti-corruption advocates have praised the authorities and international cooperation that led to recovery of assets and convictions. This case is not just about one man, it is about rule of law, equal accountability, and the idea that power must not shield wrongdoing. Even as politics get messier, this verdict sets a precedent and demonstrates that no one, not even a former prime minister, can escape the law when evidence proves guilt beyond reasonable doubt. This verdict may be appealed, but today the court has spoken. Signing out peacefully for having separation of power in this country. Thank you, Nandri.